Good evening and welcome to StopLightGO. This is Mark Seaforth, Chairman and Founder, and tonight we have a very special guest, Mr. Kevin Sorbo, a world-renowned actor. And Kevin's career just skyrocketed when he debuted as Hercules, one of the most successful TV series of all times, especially international. I mean, it's still seen all over the world today, and people still love the story of Hercules. And after Hercules, his next success was the TV series Andromeda. Since then, he has been in more than 85 plus movies with over 146 credits. He's been nominated for awards, he's won awards during his career, and he currently works on 4 to 5 new movie projects every year. And most importantly, he is a great person and a family man. And now it's time to begin our interview with Mr. Kevin Sorbo. Now, before we begin, I'd just like to, if you would maybe share with everybody a little bit about your history and how it all began for you in the life of television and movies. So if you would kind of just start at the beginning and just give everybody a little bit of your story, it'd be great. Thank you.
Well, how far back do you want to go? Because I was 11 years old when I decided I want to be an actor. There was I grew up just outside of Minneapolis, Minnesota, on Lake Minnetonka. My hometown was home to Tonka Toys. So there you go. Lake Minnetonka, a little trivia question there.
Okay. And you started at 11. So this is when it all started for you. Okay.
I went to see a play. Our elementary school went into the Guthrie Theater. The Guthrie Theater is a very famous theater in Minneapolis. A lot of people don't realize there's more theater per capita in Minneapolis, St. Paul than there is on Broadway. It's a huge community-driven, everything from improv to stand-up to plays. And we went to the Guthrie Theater to see The Merchant of Venice. Now, mind you, I was 11, and that was Shakespeare, so I know what the hell they were saying, but I was totally mesmerized by the actors on stage. On the way home, I told my mom, I said, she was one of the chaperones in the bus, we're heading back, and I said, I'm going to be an actor. And she said, that's nice, dear. And I got a little pat on the leg. But here's the thing, Mark, I was a jock, all through high school, to college. I was a football, basketball guy. And we kind of made fun of people in drama class because they're all a bunch of wussies in there. But the reality was I wanted to be in there with them.
Right. You wanted to be there.
Oh, I did. And it wasn't really until college that I started kind of really going after it. I had a double business major, but I took a minor in drama. I don't think you need to get a degree in acting to be an actor, but they had a drama department and they had a stage. And I said, what the heck? I'm just going to go in there and, use it like an acting class outside of college. And then I did a lot of commercials. Minneapolis, St. Paul area is like the 3rd biggest commercial market in the country. A lot of people don't realize that, but you got these huge headquarters based there. You got Best Buy, Target, 3M, Honeywell, Pillsbury, General Mills, Cargill, the list goes on and on. So I did a lot of commercials during my college years and got that all-important Screen Actors Guild card that you have to have, that SAG card that is so important to get a job in Hollywood. I'm going to see if I can got one floating around here on my desk. Never carry my billfold anymore, but the Screen Actors Guild card is a big deal because it's your ticket to really get an agent in Hollywood. So I had no problem getting a commercial agent in Hollywood because I already had a really good commercial reel set up. So that was really the leading into getting involved in whole acting and all that stuff really started back during my college years where I really decided to pursue it.
Wow. So that's such a young age. So obviously you progressed and you finally got your first role. What was your first role in the movie or was it movies?
Well, my first role, I played a gigolo on a soap opera called Santa Barbara.
Oh my gosh.
That was my first role. Actually, my first speaking role, I take that back. I was in 1983. I had a couple lines on the very famous TV show during the 80s, Dallas, the TV nighttime soap opera. And so that was my first speaking role. But I started doing guest spots like on Murder, She Wrote and The Commish and Cheers. I was taking acting classes because I remember an acting coach telling me, whatever intimidates you, that's what you got to go after. Whatever you're fearful of, then you got to look that straight now and go after that. So I always ask, who are the toughest coaches to get in their classes? And people threw out the same 3 or 4 names all the time. So those are the coaches I gravitated to. And those are the ones I wanted to get into it. And I had to audition many times to be allowed to even get into that class.
And, that's a great life lesson too, what you just said about the things that you fear most, because that's what really, I think, is the difference between people that have a success in life and people that don't.
Yeah.
You kind of face your fears. Like for me, it was public speaking. Now I can do it in front of 10,000. I don't think twice about it. But at the time, I was like, wow, just I couldn't stand in front of two people without freezing. So that gets so you did that. You took that on, and then what
Yeah.
happened next?
Well, I mean, I understand what you just said about that because I was kind of the same way. I was never not a shy kid, but I was never the first guy to raise my hand, even though I knew the class and the answer or something. And so speaking in public, I mean, I do it all the time now as well. I never think twice about it. Now, in fact, I enjoy it. But for me, it was when I took those classes. In fact, the last acting class I had was with a guy by the name of Roy London, who since passed away. But that class was me. It was Matthew Perry, who since passed away.
Right.
Brad Pitt, Charlotte Ross, and it was an amazing class of all these guys whose careers hadn't really taken off yet. And but that was like a huge class for me to be involved in because it gave you cachet within the industry itself out in Hollywood. But the biggest thing, obviously, for me was when I got the first audition scene for Hercules. And I'm a big guy. I'm 6'3". I was 225. I was always working out, but it wasn't. I also thought, you know what, they want some steroid no-neck guy. You think of Schwarzenegger and Ferrigno and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Said, no, they want a guy that looks like he's a decathlete or maybe an NFL quarterback size guy. And I had 7 auditions over about 3-month period before I got it. They auditioned 2,800 actors all over America and Canada. And then I got down the last 3 guys and I got the role. And that changed my life because that little series became 7 years in New Zealand, became the most watched TV show in the world by season 3.
So when you started that show, Hercules, I mean, you were already, I mean, you didn't have to really get in shape. You were kind of, obviously you were an athlete, so you were pretty much in shape, but I'm sure you had to do a little bit more, right? When they wanted to put you into that kind of role or character.
Oh yeah. I mean, I didn't, they didn't want me to like pack on a bunch of weight, but they said, you know, keep working out. I did put on about maybe 5 more pounds because I was working on a Gold's Gym all the time. I knew all the bodybuilder guys there.
Right.
So Charles Glass was a friend of mine, and he was one of the top instructors, and he's still there after all these years. And then I studied. I spent six weeks with this guy that was one of Bruce Lee's original students. And it was Douglas Wong, and Douglas taught me all this different karate moves and all this different. He had a thing called the White Lotus Kung Fu method and all these weapons and fighting. It was awesome. And then when I got to New Zealand, it was going to just be 5 2-hour movies for 1 year. And I think the biggest thing about that was that whole year I got to work with Anthony Quinn. I know there's a lot of people. Who's Anthony Quinn?
Oh, I loved Anthony Quinn.
I know you know who, but you look at,
I'm older. Yeah, right. Okay.
You look at a 35-year-old and younger, they didn't realize him. This guy was nominated for 6 Academy Awards. He won twice. Guns of Navarone, Sorbo the Greek. I mean, so many movies this guy did. He did over like 200 movies. And he played Zeus. And I got a whole year working with him and just, you know, soaking everything he said about, you know, what it was like in Hollywood in the 50s and 60s and stuff. And it was just, you know, it was just pretty amazing. Lawrence of Arabia. He was in Lawrence of Arabia.
Right.
You know.
Well, how long did the series Hercules last? I mean,
7 years. It was 7 seasons.
7 seasons. Wow.
And by
You didn't expect that. I'm sure when you signed on, you figured maybe we'll get lucky. We'll get 1 season out of this.
It was going to be just 5 2-hour movies for a year.
Yeah.
But Universal, by the middle of the 3rd movie, I always thought we had something special. I said, "There's nothing like this on TV." And by halfway through the 3rd movie, Universal Studios called up and said, "We love this. We're going to make it a series. Stay down there." And by season 3, we were in 176 countries and the most watched show in the world.
That's amazing. That is amazing. So obviously that launched your career. Now you've had a pretty illustrious career since then. You've done a lot more than just Hercules. So kind of maybe share with everybody a little bit of some of the other things that you've kind of gone off into over your lifetime in this industry.
Well, that led to my 2nd series, which I started right away when Hercules finished, was Andromeda, which is the first show Gene Roddenberry wrote after Star Trek. So my character was the first captain, Captain Dylan Hunt, ever created after Captain Kirk. So being a fan of the original TV series, this was pretty cool to step into that role. And we had 5 years on that. And since then, I've shot over 80 movies, and I'm staying busy. I've got 2 movies coming out this fall.
Right.
I've got 4 other movies in post-production and 3 documentaries in post-production. I've got 3 movies lined up for this year. I've already shot 2 movies this year. So I've been very blessed to keep busy in the independent world. I do a lot of independent movies. I like doing movies that have a positive upbeat. There's so much negativity out there, and hate and anger.
Yeah.
I like doing movies that have what Hollywood used to do, because Hollywood doesn't do anymore. But I do
No.
movies that have hope and love and, redemption, and just some more positive things, laughter, things that Hollywood just doesn't want to do anymore.
Well, we need more of that in this life, and you know that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of sad in the direction we've gone, and so I think people like yourself and myself and other people, that's what we're trying to do, is get back to kind of good old family values again. Being making family really, really important, and that's kind of the reasons for this PFPB too, is because I think this is something that can really bless every family in America. Matter of fact, any family anywhere in the world, and so. Let's talk a little bit about that, because obviously you've agreed to come on board as our brand ambassador and to endorse this product. I mean, obviously you've always stayed in shape. I mean, you're in great shape right now. But as you got a little bit older after Hercules and all that kind of stuff, I mean, how important was diet and exercise to you to still maintain that in your life?
Oh, it was very important. I still work out all the time. I mean, I built. I mean, this is probably the third gym I built in the years since we left. We had a great gym in LA, then we had a great gym in here now where we live in Florida. I built a home gym. I got tired of going to gyms. The only time I really go to gyms is when I'm on the road. I've got like a pass that I can get any Planet Fitness anywhere. So because hotel gyms for the most part are kind of crappy. So I want to go to those places. But I like to work out. I like doing cardio. I like staying in shape because it's a drug. I tell people all the time, I said, look, if you get past those first couple of weeks, be religious about it, make yourself do it. Pretty soon your body's going to scream for it and it's going to want it. But you got to have something to fuel your body as well, because the older you get, everybody's got such bad habits of eating, and they don't have enough
True.
good stuff. They have a lot of processed stuff, and
I was the poster child for eating all the wrong foods and eating too much of everything. And so this has really changed my life. And again, that's why we're so excited to have you involved, because of your background and your history, and of course being a celebrity, that helps a lot too, because people tend to listen to people that have a kind of a celebrity status in life like yourself. And so what kind of excites you about this partnership and what we can do with it?
well, I like the history of what you have been doing and your team have been doing, and just the company that you have, and the positive beat you guys have behind it all. And you're coming out with a product that's just going to be great to nourish the body in a proper way. But to me, it was just a chance to do something that really speaks to fitness, because like I said earlier, your body needs fuel. You need these kind of fuels to keep yourself going. You need positive things that keep your body. We're like an automobile. You got to have the right fluids in there to keep it working properly. And a lot of people, we just get lazy. We get lazy. And I was going to backtrack just a little bit about something about personalities and what we have to do in our lives to push forward. I used to caddy at this private country club when I was in college, and every one of these guys that I asked about success. How did you become successful? Because these are all rich guys, and I'm the fourth of five kids. My dad was a public school teacher. I don't know how he did 5 kids and his wife and on a school teacher's salary. Trust me. But they did it. But they taught hard work. That's one thing my parents taught all 5 of his kids: hard work. Well, I would ask these guys in the course, how did you become successful? Every single one of them says, oh, I failed. And then I failed again. Oh, by the way, Kevin, I failed and I failed. And that was huge for me. They said failure is a positive thing. No is a positive thing. People give up so easily in their lives, and they give up on their diets. They give up on their work. They give up on their dreams so easily. And you got to keep pushing forward. Look, I'm a 13-year overnight success in Hollywood, okay? I paid my dues. I had a lot of doors slammed in my face, but I never gave up hope. I never gave up the drive. To me, every failure fueled the fire in my body to push myself even further.
Again, this is part of what our business is about too, is just not just the products and having a great product like this that can really make an impact in your life, but also the business side of it, which is, how to be, what does it take to be successful in life? And some of the things you're sharing are just so important for people to hear and understand, because most people in this world will rob you of your dreams. They'll tell you all the reasons you can't do anything, why you can't be successful. And I'm a big believer like yourself that, hey, you can do anything in this life if you want to. You have to have the want to, the drive, the persistence, the patience, all the things it takes. So this is going to be a lot of fun working with you. I don't want to hold you up too much longer right now. I just want to do this quick introduction to let everybody know that you're here, that we're going to be putting together some amazing, marketing material for the product. We'll be putting together some videos. Obviously, we'll have you involved in that whole process. So you're going to play an important role of helping to deliver this message. And it is so much more than just taking the product, because all the other things you talked about are going to be so critical to someone's success. And that's what we're about here. And so, Kevin, anything else you'd like to say in closing, the kind of final remarks, and then look forward to working with you and having you on a lot more calls. I know you're going to attend some of our big events. I'm going to attend some of your events that you do all over the place. So any closing thoughts or remarks?
Well, I always tell people, don't let anyone set your limitations, especially yourself. A lot of people give up too early, and they think they can't do it, and they want to blame God or a God they don't believe in, or blame family, friends. Well, I'll say, cue Michael Jackson's song, "The Man in the Mirror." Look in the mirror. That's where the problem is. You got to look in the mirror and say, okay, what am I going to do about changing my life? Because too many people give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Especially don't give up in your health, because there's a lot of stuff going against everything that's going out in the market right now. They're flooding the markets. They're flooding, the television commercials. There's just so much crap out there. And here we got a product here that I think is going to change a lot of people's lives.
Yeah, what a great way to end. Thank you, Kevin, so much for your time. Look forward. And I know everybody that's going to be watching this is going to feel the same way. Please give us more. Give us more. So thank you so much, Kevin.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay. Take care.